Welcome back, guys. So what we're going to do today is we are going to show you how to build a cleanup sluice for under $30. That's under $30. Now you'll see them online for 100, 125 bucks. Some of them are crazy, $250, $300. Don't waste your money. We've got a way to do it right now that is a tenth of the cost of those super crazy ones. And all you're going to need for this is from your local hardware store is just basic plastic rain gutter, and it has the two lips on either side. Those are very important. You want to make sure you get those ones with the two lips. I don't know friggin' if you can see it. There you go. You want the two lips, locking lips on either side. Now that is going to be apparent why we want that, but make sure that you get that because that's going to be very helpful in the long run. Next, you're going to need some low profile VMAT. Now, a piece this size, depending on the store that you're going to buy it from, it should be, you know, $10 or $15. Now, unfortunately, some people don't have access to a mining store or whatever. You may have to buy it online, in which case it's going to cost you a little bit more. But if you buy it online, you're going to get this much times 3. Right? Because it comes in one piece, it's about 3 times the width. So you'll be able to build 3, but it's about 60 bucks if you have to buy it like from Amazon or whatever. But like I say, find a mining supply store near you. Should be about $15. I have this left over from when I refit my high banker. And so for me, it's free. You're gonna need a cap, which is just your standard cap. It has the rubber gasket on it. Obviously that's gonna help prevent the water leakage, and it as well has the 2 clips on either side, and that's going to lock it into place. You'll need an old ratty garden hose, something that's already damaged preferably, or go to a yard sale. You'll pick it up for a couple bucks. As well, you're going to need some sort of glue. Now this is probably the most expensive part. I'm not sure what glue to use. It's going to be trial and error. So we're going to try, first we're going to try this stuff. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to go back to the old Gorilla Glue. All right. Now the first step is to measure everything. I have about a 3 foot, maybe a little bit more piece of the low profile VMAT. And I can just show you the low profile VMAT. All right, so that is going to be what captures your gold and your heavies, usually your black sand and gold. So we've gone ahead and we've measured where that meets on the end of our cleanup sluice. So we're going to go ahead and cut that. I'll fast forward this part so you don't have to be bored. Well, that was easy. All right, so as we do with anything that we're working with this setup, you're gonna have a recirculating water system. So make sure that you get all of these edges off, just sand them off or just pick them off or whatever it is you're gonna do. Shout out to my dad. This is his workshop, all his tools. It's his own fault every time I go to buy some tools. He's like, well, why'd you buy that? I've already got 7 of them. So, you're welcome, Dad. So the next step is to cut the end off your hose. Now most of them will have this little thing here, it keeps it from kinking right at the fitting. It's supposed to make it last a little longer. You're gonna want to keep that. It'll become useful and you'll see why down the road. Always cut yourself a little bit of extra. Because what we're going to do with this is we're going to drill a hole through here, and then this is going to sit in that like that through the hole, right? So once this goes through that hole, to keep it snug fit, we'll put this back onto her, push it up so that it's nice and snug, and then I'll put a cinch on there to keep that from sliding back and forth. and that'll keep it secured. All right, so let's go ahead and cut the hole in here. Again, we'll fast forward through it, and then basically that'll be all the cutting and hole drilling and everything that we're going to need to do, and then we'll just get to the assembly. All right, now just before we drill this, make sure you got your gloves on. I don't have any safety glasses, so I'm going to wear this bad boy here. You don't need to measure it super good. Basically all you want is the water to go in and then spread out evenly amongst the base of the cleanup sluice or rain gutter, whatever you want to call it. So you can adjust it, the water flow, depending on the pump that you're using, and we'll talk about pumps in a sec. But you can also adjust it using a clamp, a C-clamp, or even a thumb wrench. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll drill the hole and show you what's going on. All right, so this is what you're gonna want. You're gonna want it to fit in, but make it tight so that it has to click in. And that's basically gonna be the setup for the water. Now I will put the check stop on that we talked about as soon as I find out where to put it. There we go. And that's just gonna go like that. And that's just gonna keep it from coming out. Now there's not gonna be a crap ton of water pressure or whatever, so we're not too overly worried about that. The next step is gonna be to secure the matting into the base. So I want to dry fit it first. So to dry fit it, you put the one side in, slide it up so that it catches in the lip. Works a little bit better without the gloves on. Trying to be all safe. Now, if you do this right the first time, you should never have to do this again. So it is a bit of a pain in the butt, but like I say, if you do it right the first time, you're good to go. And that is why we wanted the lip. As you can see, the matting catches up underneath the lip on both sides. I will glue it down just to get this out of here. So we'll go ahead, now that it fits, I'm gonna go ahead and glue it down now. All right, we'll cut here and then I'll glue it down and then we'll start her back up again. That's just boring. All right, now that it's all glued down, what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach at this point the end cap with the hose. So that just slips on the end here. And then I'm going to cut the hose a little bit because it's a little long. And there you have it, folks. Nice little cleanup sluice. Now, to operate this, obviously you're going to need some water. Now, depending on where you're going to operate it, I mean, if you want to operate this in your backyard, you can just hook it up to your garden hose. I mean, and you can control that with a valve, which is probably like for a beginner, or even, you know, somebody who's experienced with this sort of thing, that might be the way you want to set it up. If you're in a location where maybe you don't want to fill your backyard up with water, you can do a recirculating setup. So for a recirculating setup, basically what you're going to want is a tub, something that's going to hold at least 10 gallons of water. You're going to want a lawn garden fountain pump. You can pick those up at any hardware store. They're about $10 or $15. And then just whatever hose you're going to hook from the garden pump up to here. And those garden pumps are submersible, 12 volt, or you can buy an adapter to run it off your 110, or you can hook it right to a battery. Either way, it's your choice. And then that's just going to recirculate. So from there, I like to do on a 4-foot length, I'd like to do 2.5 inches about, and then adjust from there. You know, you might want more of a bigger angle, so you might want 4 inches or even 6 inches. I don't know, it depends on the material that you're running. And then you can adjust the water flow here just by pinching off the hose with some vice grips or C-clamps or however you want to choose to do it. The goal here is to have the water as flat and wide as possible so that you have the most cleaning area. And what's going to happen once you've got it down to the level where you're going to need this is it's basically going to be black sands and gold. So the gold is a little heavier than the black sand, so you'll have to adjust the water flow so that it's pushing the black sands away but letting the gold stay. And I haven't figured out how to do that yet, but we'll get to that point soon. I'm probably going to get some of that black sand pay dirt, the real difficult stuff, and just use it solely to get this tweaked out and go from there. But like I said, yeah, you just get your recirculating pump, a couple of vats of water, and me personally, I like to keep a pan under this end just to catch anything that might come out the end, and then after a little bit, check the pan, make sure there's no gold in it. If there's no gold, then you're good to go, and you just run the rest of your material. So if you did find anything in this video useful, you know, or entertaining, please feel free to subscribe, turn on your notifications, hit the like button, show your support. I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Our next 2 videos next weekend are going to be on some pay dirts because there's still snow on the ground here and a little bit of ice in the rivers. They're starting to break up, but the where I'm going to be digging is still ice. So once that's gone, we'll get into that. I figure about a week and a half. So next weekend we've got 2 pay dirts, and yeah. If you have any comments, feel free to leave the comments below. I'm always interested in conversation. And yeah, so if I don't see you around, I'll see you square.